Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Tuesday, September 8th, 2015. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson, your presenter for this evening. Now for the news in detail. Earlier today, the Premier hosted members of the Nevis Division of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce for his quarterly meeting with that body. The meeting took place at the conference room at Bath Hotel, and the Premier was accompanied by his Permanent Secretary, Wakely Daniel.
Growth in the economy, growth in the way we are able to long-term project, the employment situation and so on, would be good for all of us. In the case of the government, we surely welcome any growth in the private sector because that allows us as a government to increase our tax revenue without increasing taxes. And I think that for me is a very critical aspect of how the government should function, that we ought not to seek to increase the level of taxes by increasing the percentage, but rather have an increase in the collection of revenue because of the increase in the economic activity. I think that could be for both of yourselves, the private sector and the government, a win-win situation.
The Premier discussed with members of the Chamber wide-ranging issues such as security, infrastructure, and the economy. The Premier as well spoke about tourism and the vision of his administration.
We are indicating that there has to be a core hotel as the main area of investment, because what that does is it adds then rooms to the tourism plant. It allows the government to go out and provide the impetus for additional airlift, which provides access to visitors who want to come to Nevis and St. Kitts for their holiday. And that is where the foreign investment will come in an indirect way outside of the initial investment, where we'll have now visitors who are coming to enjoy the environment which we want to create and we want to maintain.
The government considers the meetings with the Chamber to be very important as the grouping represents the other major partners in economic affairs of the island. Coming up this weekend is the second annual Nevis Marathon and Running Festival. The activities, which begin on Thursday, 10th September, will begin with a 5K race.
The first race is the 5K, which happens on the Four Seasons property on the golf course, and that begins at 4:30 on Thursday. And then on Saturday, we have the rest of the running festival, which is the 10K, half marathon, and full marathon. Those races that are taking place on Saturday morning starting at 5:30.
Persons interested in registering for these races can do so on the website www.nevismarathon.com, as well as downstairs the Nevis Tourism Authority building in Charlestown. While the 5K takes place on the Four Seasons property on Thursday afternoon, the rest of the races take place on Saturday morning beginning along the Samuel Hunkins Drive.
The 10K starts on Saturday morning. We begin the races at 5:30 a.m. The 10K will go from the Samuel Hunkins Drive just outside of Octagon, and that goes all the way to Cotton Ground, the foot of Cotton Ground Road actually, and turn and back to town. That will give you 10 kilometers. The half marathon begins in the same place, heads out to the airport, and turn and back to town. That gives you the half marathon, 13.1 miles to be exact. And then the marathon has a bit of a different route. They run from the Samuel Hunkins Drive, go down to the end of the Samuel Hunkins Drive, take a right and run back through town up towards Pump Road, along Pump Road and over the bypass road, and then they exit out onto the main road on Pennies and head over towards the drag strip via the airport. They turn at the drag strip and back directly into town, finish on the Samuel Hunkins Drive. That gives them 26.2 miles for the full marathon.
The organizers are working with a number of volunteers as well as the police to ensure the activities are safe for both participants and spectators.
For the public, in terms of what you can look forward to, if you're participating, you can look forward to a very good and competitive race, a good opportunity to get some exercise. Whether you're running or walking, you're welcome to sign up and come out. And then for those who are spectating, we want you to come out and spectate. They're working with the police to ensure that the traffic is controlled. We're also hoping that everyone will be safe. It will be hot. That's why we're starting very early in the morning so that the races can finish before the actual heat of the day.
That was Greg Phillip, the race director of St. Kitts Nevis Triathlon Federation. Shaquania Jones of the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School and Tarika Edwards of the Joyce and Lyman Primary School were the scholarship recipients of the Ministry of Social Development's Single Parent Support Group. In a handing over ceremony which took place late last week at the Department of Social Services, Group Representative Rhonda Forbes Williams outlined the purpose of the ceremony.
So today we'll be contributing to two students, Shaquania Jones of the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School on my left with her mom, and Tarika Edwards from the Joycelyn Library Primary School on my right. We are very happy to have both of them, and we are also happy to be able to assist in the education of their children.
She thanked those who supported the various fundraisers held by the group and Earl Brown for his assistance. She also encouraged the recipients to make good use of the school supplies.
We have here some supplies, school supplies that they'll be able to use during or throughout the school year. And I hope that these students will put it to good use and take good care of what they're about to be given today.
Another group representative, Verlene Pemberton, presented the supplies to both recipients, whose parents then thanked the Single Parents Support Group on their behalf.
I would like to thank the Social Services Single Parent Support Group for presenting Tarika with the school supplies, and I know that she will put them to good use.
I would like to say a big thank you on behalf of myself and Shaquania for the kind contribution, and I know Shaquania will be putting it to good use in her school term.
Also present at the handing over ceremony was Single Parents Group Coordinator Grace Manners. Coming up, stay with us.
I always think of her, but then I always think of him too. He should have never forced himself on her. Help us stop the madness. If you know it, tell it. Tell 1-800-8477-TIPS.
The closing ceremony of the Empowerment for Parents program took place on Friday, September 4th at the Education Training Room. Sandra Fleming stated that the purpose of the workshop arises out of the need for better parenting on the island. She said that the shortcomings and failures of our parents and the challenges of our world today are greatly impacting on our children and society and greatly demands our attention. Principal Education Officer in the Department of Education, Palsy Wilkin, stated that the workshop was a trainer of trainees workshop, and those who took part in the workshop will be certified to go out and train other persons and also parents.
And I do hope and trust that what we gained from these workshops, we will be able to take back to our respective workplaces, and that we can also get together. There's no harm in if education wants to do something in parenting, we'll call on social services, we'll call on the preschool people so that we can do it.
Empowerment for Parents program developer and facilitator Carleen Ricard gave the overview of the 4-day workshop.
The program Empowerment for Parenting involved two strands, Strand A and Strand B. And the focus on Strand A is to build strong family, health family, And the topics we actually look at is in terms of identity, relationship, community involvement, and developmental stages to bring healthy family in becoming healthy community, in becoming healthy nation. In Strand B, the focus was on the relationship between schools, parents, and the children. And in that area, we look at family learning, parenting issues that are taking place in the school.
Speaking about his experience of the workshop was participant Wayne Maynard.
One of the things that I really valued throughout the time here was the content and the quality of information that was put together. Certainly required a tremendous amount of investment, and I personally and collectively think that we should once again give Ms. Colleen Rita a round of applause.
Co-facilitator of the program, Rita Joseph, distributed their certificates to a total of 15 participants, making them official Parent Media Education Consultancy PMEC certified. The month of September marks 15 years since the Nevis electricity company NEVLEC became a statutory body. The company marked the occasion with a week of activities which involved a beach cleanup. General manager at the company spoke to us while on the cleanup last week.
We are actually cleaning the area of the road from the Pinnis bypass all the way to the beach. We have identified this road and have adopted it actually as our road, and so our intention is to keep this clean. And so that is what is happening here. So we cleaned. Our staff came out in their numbers, as you would have seen, and so we cleaned that entire stretch of road all the way and down at the beach. We are now going to take the garbage into one central location where solid waste will then pick it up.
Other activities for the week included a church service and talks in schools, as well as other community outreach programs.
One of the things that was highlighted this afternoon for us, which was very significant, is that our presence was felt. People actually saw us on the road, and people would stop and said, well, who are these people and what are they doing? So we were able to show people that we are not just about there to collect their money, which is the concept of people have of Devlik anyway, but we are about the service that we give. We have one goal and one objective, and that is to keep the lights on. And so we are here to show people that we are a lot more than that, and so we can actually give back to the people that do business with us.
On the 1st of September 2000, the operations of the Nevis Electricity Department were transferred to the Nevis Electricity Company, as it was felt that the operations would have been better managed and efficiencies would be better achieved, even though the company is wholly owned by the Nevis Island Administration. A delegation of Taiwanese international youth ambassadors from the Republic of China, Taiwan, on Thursday, September 3rd, hosted a production to showcase their cultural heritage at the Nevis Performing Arts Center, NEPAC. Taiwanese resident ambassador, His Excellency George Gao-wei Chow, thanked the Nevis Island administration for affording the Taiwanese youth ambassadors the opportunity to perform on Nevis.
These Taiwan youth ambassadors will perform on stage to demonstrate the authenticity, benevolence, and the sophistication of their country, and to present its nature, environment, and cultural heritage. I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to Premier Vance Emery and the government of Nevis. Without your dedicated support and coordination, tonight's performance will not come true.
In his remarks, Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Vance Emery, stated that he is a firm believer in cultural exchange and encouraged those present to emulate the professionalism of the night's performances.
I am a believer in the use of cultural exchanges to strengthen friendships among nations. And we are aware, citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, that the Republic of China and Taiwan has been one of the best friends of St. Kitts and Nevis since its independence in 1983. And this very performing arts theater is as a result of that friendship which the Republic of China and Taiwan has for the people of Nevis. And I want those of us who are here who are performers of the arts, and I know we do have some good dancers, we have some good singers, we have some good musicians, that we could look at the manner in which these young ambassadors perform their talents, and that we can also seek to emulate the professionalism and the quality which we shall see here tonight. I want to thank you, Ambassador, and thank you, Professor, the leader of the team, and the rest of the team which is here, for coming to Nevis tonight to give us this treat.
The night's performances were filled with dancing, singing, and drama presentations. The performance was the delegation's first international performance, and the group would be traveling throughout the Caribbean and the United States following their departure from Nevis. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.